Greetings, everybody. It is now day 4 of this week on juicing. Funny thing is, we're not actually going to spend a whole week on juicing. As tempted as I am to continue this on, I did complete the 3J juicing process. That's the first level. That is actually the recommended level for beginners. I did that. And while, as evident from yesterday, I felt pretty good throughout the day, not a lot of stomach issues, whatnot, there are two primary things that I am having issues with that I really think are things I'm going to have to start trying to get myself out of, which is, number one, the muscle fatigue. It particularly poses a problem in the evening. I did not cramp last night, but there was a definite threat of cramping. Very uncomfortable at various points of the night. I did get to sleep. When I sleep, I'm fine. But when I wake up, I can definitely feel it. And if I'm not careful, I could have a lot of cramps. And I don't feel like dealing with that. Waking up in the morning is very difficult. But as I go through the day, I'm pretty good. But of course, after 3 days feeling this weak with my muscles and whatnot, and still have 3 days of work to do, I really need to try to wean off of this. Also, the other thing is, of course, about the, bowel movements or periodic such. It's created a little bit of a difficulty with cleanup and whatnot. So there's a little irritation from that. So I think it best, because this is something that I am going to have to address, is we're going to stick with the 3-day. We're going to take that initial goal, which is it's the right thing to do. It's the smart thing to do. I'm not going to extend this to 7 days just because, Jevons did it. I don't know how he did it, unless he's done some juicing before, but I don't think he has. And to be honest, he also doesn't exactly, at that point in the video, didn't have a job that required a lot of physical energy from him like my job does. And I think that's the thing that makes it particularly difficult for me to do something like this. If I took off a whole week, probably would be able to do it, but not in this case. So, having said that, there are still 4 days left. 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I just going to cut them off? No, because I am actually not going to just completely stop. I am going to wean myself off of the juices slowly and get myself back up to a certain level. That is also what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to just go ahead and start eating steak after having this, So what I'm doing today I'm pretty much going to do what I've been doing the first 3 days, but as I get through it, I am going to incorporate something else into my body that will not be a juice, to try and get some other nutrients introduced. And I'm actually, instead of having 6, I'm going to still have probably about 5 juices, maybe 4, and then just gradually, kind of each day, do fewer and fewer juices till after day 7, I'm done. So you'll get to see this journey and see how that goes. I'm going to do 2 weigh-ins. I'm going to do this weigh-in this morning to just see what a 3-day juice cleanse did to me, and then see how things fluctuated after the 7 days of recovery, after the 4 additional days of the recovery period. All right, let's see how it is after 3 days. $225.6. So looking back at the numbers, that's a total loss of 8.6 pounds in 3 days. That's it. That's all. It's not as much as what Jevons lost in his week, but that was 7 days. 4 extra days. He lost basically the equivalent of what I lost on James Duncan. If I had continued this for a week, considering I already hit basically the discount dinner level after 3 days, which is, one of the highest levels. I think it's the 3rd highest level I had. So considering that I already hit the 3rd highest level after 3 days. Again, we're going to check it after 7 days, see if there's any changes, but I imagine I'm not going to really lose that much more, if any at all. We'll see once I start getting things back up to level. Obviously, I'm still not eating quite exactly the same stuff. But this morning, I will be having some more of this stuff. I think I'm going to start with the detoxifier since it's older. Use that one first this morning. And then for lunch period when I'm at work, I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. Where you might see the change will be afterwards. And I actually need to go ahead and talk about the detoxifier because we are doing a different one. This one's called Beetlejuice. The light is very weird for some reason. But, yeah, here we go. Beetlejuice. It has beets, apple, carrots, ginger, lime, and aloe. So, we'll see how this compares to the Can't Beat It, which was a pretty good one. Here we go. Very beet looking. This one's good too. Not sure which one I like better. Maybe this one, but the Can't Beat It's very good too. It's got a different, distinct taste in it. It is a little subtle, but it is definitely something that is distinctly different about it. But yeah, both the detoxifiers are very good. So we'll head to work and continue on. All right, I am at my regular lunch break place because, as I said, we're not doing the regular juicing. I'm not going to try to have 2 at certain time periods. I was doing pretty good most of the day, and then of course, once it got past 11:30, my body was kind of like, hey, usually something gets put in your body around this time, because the latest I've done it has been 11:30 before it's had its second helping. So just having it now, almost 1 o'clock actually today. So we're going to have this inspiration. It is apple, kale, lemon, ginger, and sea salt. It's a focus-based one, which would be good for me. I'm only having 1 of these today. This is going to be one of my drop-offs. Instead of having 2, I'm just having 1 because I will be having something later tonight. This is probably the sweetest of the green ones. So this is pretty tasty actually. So enjoy this, get back to work, and then we'll see what we're doing afterwards. I'm back at Ride On smoothie. Kind of getting the remaining juices that I'm going to have for the rest of this that I don't have in stock right now. That is the beetle juice and the Tutti Frutti. 1 day's worth of that, 2 days worth of that. Also right now, as part of my introduction into getting something other than just regular juices, I am getting a smoothie. It's going to be a protein-based smoothie because obviously that's the thing I most need probably right now to introduce into my system. So I got, it's also partly fruit-based too. I believe blueberry pancake has obviously some protein in it. It has some maple syrup and blueberries and a few other things, but it'll provide a little bit of that sweet sensation. Almond butter I think it's got too, so it's got a little bit of that nuttiness to it, so that'll be really good to get once they're ready for that. And I'll find out how good this is. Alright, back in the car now. We have the concoction here that they made. The blueberry obviously makes it look blue. Ooh, definitely a lot of blueberry. Oh man, this is one of the better smoothies I think I've ever had from here. I've had some pretty good ones before too. Oh man, I don't know if it's just because it's something a little different or whatnot, but this will get me a little bit before dinner. Dinner time I will be having a actual meal, not like a little bit different, but we'll kind of get into that when we do that. And then that'll be when I have my third smoothie, or my third juice of the day. And then the fourth one will be an after dinner sort of thing instead of like dessert. But yay, I'm excited about this. This is going to be really good, really nice change up. Also, kind of give me some ideas of some like casual days, just besides the point of, you know, the week on itself, but casual days out here in this area. Golly, we need to do more of that. That's just something I think would be really nice to do. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's the way I feel about that. All right, it's dinner time. So, what am I doing? Well, first off, my drink is going to be the Tutti Frutti, which, as you remember, pineapple, apple, ginger. Works pretty well for a juice. It's, of course, an energy booster. Then I'll be having as the drink. But, food-wise, I am going to do this Lipton chicken flavored noodle soup mix. We'll cook that up. It's pretty simple. You just put it in a pan, get yourself about 3 cups of water, and of course your instant mix. Cook it for a little bit. Boom, it's done. We also do have extra noodles if I feel like we should have a little bit more, but I think it'll be pretty good. I don't think I won't be too hungry for anything. But that's what we'll do. Here is our soup and our drink. Done pretty good after the really good smoothie. Best I've ever had from there. As usual, that's fine. Let's see. Yep. There we go. Nice. Get myself comfortable as I am getting ready to have my last juice of the day. So today, in the recovery process, first off, it's the joint juice. Wonderful one to finish on. But it is the inflammation fighter, so So let's go over this again. The cleanse ended officially, like 3-day cleanse. We are now on this 4th day in the process of recovering and transitioning back into regular, normal eating. In doing so, I have opted to go from 6 juices to 4, so still having a lot of juices to ensure that I'm getting a lot of the key things. Instead of 2 greens juices, I'm now having 1. And the lemonade was also dropped from the list because it obviously wasn't providing as much as the other 4. This is the last joint juice I'm going to do because I think inflammation is probably my least concern out of the ones that are remaining. I had my first non-juice this afternoon after work, which was probably the best smoothie that I ever had from Right On Smoothie. Protein-based smoothie, which addressed my current or previous issue of not having anything with significant amounts of protein or dairy. But then I had dinner, which was noodle soup. And the noodles provided a little bit of a carb base as well, which is something I haven't really had either. So now I've got a starting point. We're going to move another step tomorrow, and hopefully things will continue to improve in the recovery process. I feel very good so far. Definitely feels like my muscles are gaining some strength back, which is good. I think the smoothie helped that. I think once I had the smoothie, I could definitely tell there was some difference. So we'll see when I report back how I slept at the beginning of day 5.